In the last 2 weeks, you will have seen we've talked about how Ping can improve the G430. We've also talked about how they can improve the Paradigm range, but today we are talking about how TAYLORMADE can take the Stealth 2 to another level. And this is the brand where we've seen the most amount of leaks regarding the new or the latest driver that will be out in January. We've seen the likes of Rory McIlroy, we've seen the likes of Tiger Woods using that, but what have we seen this year from this driver that's maybe not made it as popular for me as some of the other brands? We've not seen as many Stealth 2s out there. Have we seen many people go from the Stealth to the Stealth 2? Comment below, guys. If you had a Stealth original driver, have you moved into the Stealth 2 driver, or have you stuck with your original Stealth? Again, which one did you go for as well? We know there's the 3 different ones on the market like there are from every brand. Which one have you got? Comment below and let us know. Now, one thing for me when I did try this, I've got the exact same shaft that I have got in my Paradigm. So again, the Paradigm Triple Diamond was my favourite driver of the year, was the best performing driver for me. But from the same setup with this driver, I just didn't get as much consistency, and one big thing I didn't get was distance. Now that's the first swing of the day after an 8-hour flight out here to Al Zora in Dubai, and that was a fantastic shot. That was out of the middle, a nice penetrating ball flight. It'd be very interesting down there. Has that gone far enough down there to allow me to reach this green in 2? It's certainly something that I saw in the fitting. Strike was good, flight was good, but the overall distance just wasn't getting as far. The ball speed wasn't as far. Yes, I might have been hitting it a little bit more off-centered, but maybe I saw a little bit more forgiveness in the Paradigm Triple Diamond. Again, this we know is the plus range, so this is the more low spinning range. A little bit of adjustability on there, as you would expect from this kind of golf club. But which Stealth have you got in your bag if you've gone for TAYLORMADE? So interesting enough there, guys. Off the tee, couldn't have hit that better. Straight out the middle, a great ball flight, nice warm conditions here in Dubai, and that has gone 276 yards. It was 486 yards off the tee. I've left myself 210 yards. So again, a little bit disappointed there, because again, fairways in immaculate condition here, weather nice and warm. I would be expecting to get a little bit further than I have, and I certainly would see that from the Paradigm, but I can still reach. That is straight at it, so it's still giving me the chance to be able to get there in 2, but the one big thing there is obviously I'm going in with maybe a club or 2 clubs extra. So at the same price or very similar price to the Paradigm, for me it's just not working out. And again, is that potentially the shaft? Is that making sure it's a different shaft? Yes, I've got the hazardous shaft in there, which is the exact same I've got in the Paradigm, but maybe a different shaft works better with that club head. I didn't find one in the fitting, and that's where then you might have to go to an exotic one. And for me, that's where TAYLORMADE might have a big thing next year. Are they going to go for distance? Because I've certainly lost a little bit of distance with this driver. Or are they going for more forgiveness? I know this driver and this driver range certainly hasn't been a big hit with the higher handicappers. They've certainly still stuck with the traditional Pings and maybe even Callaway in that kind of department. So very interesting to see which way they go. We know obviously we've seen the tour players using them, but what do you think they are going to do to improve this range next year? And who think about going TAYLORMADE in 2024? So like you saw there out on the golf course, 276, and that's certainly something that I saw in my fitting last year, that I was getting this driver to go. A good one might sneak over 280, but with my Paradigm I was getting it out to closer to 295 to 300. Yes, potentially that could be the shaft makeup, that could be what shaft have I got in there, what is the kick point. It could also be obviously head design, the like of that, and how I can swing it. But let's put it to the test now. Let's get some numbers here in the GolfZone simulator. We're still able to reach the green, so that wasn't a problem, but I might have gone in with a longer club, so let's see. Right, so slightly off-centered here, a little bit off the bottom. Carry-wise, 250, going 272, so again, not bad for an off-centered hit there, certainly down the middle. Let's see if I can find the elusive middle like I did on the tee box at Al Zora. Right, that is out of the middle, so let's see what that does for us. Let's see, carry-wise 270, sneaking out to 290 there, so a much better strike there, great spin on that, so interesting there. That was a good one. I did get that down there, so far so good. that felt out of the middle, but what has that gone? Let's see. 250 carry, so that was, I would say, ever so slightly towy, but I feel like I've lost a little bit of distance there. I'm not too far off the centre, and that's what I found. Yes, in the fitting I wasn't maybe swinging it the best I ever have, but from an off-centred hit I found a little bit more forgiveness in the paradigm. And that's where it'll obviously be interesting next year. What are they going to do? Are they getting something with even more forgiveness? Something that's going to help with off-centred hits? Because even as a professional, I still do hit the centre of the face very rarely. So it's about seeing, right, okay, if I am off-centred, am I still going to get a good distance? 270 yards by all means is good, but compared to other drivers, maybe not as forgiving as the Ping from a couple of weeks ago or the Callaway. Again, it's all down to you for personal preference. Does it look good behind the golf ball? I like to go on, obviously, performance. Off-centred hits, am I going to lose a little bit more than I would like to see? Does it sit nice behind the golf ball? That's all the things you've got to take into account, but a shaft can be a massive thing for you deciding what driver you're going to go into next year, or even if you're looking for the second-hand market, these drivers going for around about 350 to 400 pounds at the moment. Make sure you get the right setup to optimise your distance. That's one more there. Launch nice, let's see that. 270 carry, running out to 290. So certainly when I get it out of the middle, it's very close to the paradigm, but the off-centred hits is more what I'm concerned about. But for the everyday golfer, it's the off-centred hits that you need to take more notice of. So just about able to get here into, obviously nicely stopping there, no bounce forward whatsoever. So yes, it's not holding me back from being able to get pretty much there, but obviously it's making my golf a little bit harder. But next year, we're starting to think, right, they've got one big thing that they have been pushing, and for me that does favour towards forgiveness. So it favours towards forgiveness. Is that going to be more directed, pretty good putt, towards a lower handicap? Is that going to be directed to you, the everyday golfer? More forgiveness for everybody is probably better. And it certainly looks Pinger going that way as well, going for that little bit more forgiveness, but some of the tour players have been using that driver, so we know it's going to be very interesting from next year's range. One big thing for me with TaylorMade was, again, looks wise, you'll see on the screen, we've got all the range there. They do look very similar, obviously down at the ball. We know we've got a slight different colours on the top, on the back of the crown, but the majority of that is pretty similar looking. So for me, a nice uniform way, very similar to the Ping-esque, where we know that you couldn't always tell the difference. A couple of things there with the colours you can, and that's for me where they keep it nice and tidy with the TaylorMade range. So it'll be very interesting to see what they do going into next year. Maybe I need to look at a different shaft when I'm trying the new TaylorMade stuff for next year.